Oh, happy Valentine's Day to all your lovers out there. Unfortunately, I'm by myself, so it's just me and Elvis. Oh well. All right, so I'm going to get right to the funny story because I keep going over because I'm such a talker. And I just want to say I had a great time with my friend the last couple days. We checked out some casinos. We just had a blast. And so I just wanted to say that. So I'm back. But I'm going to talk about a Valentine's Day story and then get to a special song. So, and this is the truth. It was about 8, 9 years ago, and a friend of mine, her husband was out of town. So she said, "Why don't you come over for the weekend? We'll hang out." And I said, "Well, I got this Ruth Chris um, gift certificate, and it's a really nice restaurant down in Chicago, a la carte, one of those." And I got it from a sales rep at work. So she's like, "Okay." So we went downtown, and the idea was that we were going to have lunch because it was Valentine's Day, so we knew dinner would be crazy. So forget it. And then we were going to have a drink or two and then go back home and party, which of course, that didn't happen. So we got into the restaurant, we sat down, and first of all, we were messing with our waiter because it was one of those places every time you get up and if you go off to the bathroom, they come back and they take the napkin and they go, and then they put it on your lap. So we kind of messed with our waiter and we got up a couple times just to see if he kept doing it. And he did. And then he's like, "Okay, ladies, I get it." And we're like, "Yeah, yeah." So we had a really good time with our waiter. Awesome food. And he was a gay dude, which who cares? I don't care. And if you know me, I certainly don't care. If you're happy, I don't care who you're happy with. God bless you. You know, I would cross over if I could find the perfect woman, but somebody who would like this again. So, oh, I don't have my glasses on today. I just realized that. That's all right. So, so we had a great dinner or lunch, and of course, that $100 went like that, and I'm sure the bill was. I'm almost positive it was well over $200 because of all the booze. So we ate, great meal, and we left, and we're like, "Oh, I want to have a couple drinks." Okay, so we hit one bar and then another bar and another bar, and then it's dark out. So we went to this our last bar, and we were sitting there. So my friend was on one side of me and I was on the other, and she was talking to somebody on the other side of her, and this cute little young couple, I don't think they were married a year, sat next to me, and we started talking. And she said she was a school teacher. So then I was like all over it because I love school teachers. Underappreciated, underpaid, and they're so important. So teachers rock. So I was talking to her, and she's like, "Oh, tell me about you." And I said, "Well, me and my oh, I didn't tell you the important part. I forget these important parts." So I said to the Sue, "I think the guy, our waiter, thinks we're a couple." And so we were like, "Okay, let's play along with it." So then we played gay the rest of the day. We were a couple, her and I. So when we were at the bar, I was talking to this couple. I said, "Oh, this is my wife." And she's like, "Oh, where do you live?" And I told her, we live in Lake Villa. And she's like, "Oh, where's that?" And I said, "Oh, it's closer to Wisconsin." So I had a great conversation with them, and we were going back and forth. She's like, "Oh, that's great." She goes, "I don't care if you're gay," and I'm like, "Yeah, who cares?" So then my girlfriend starts to join our conversation, and I introduce her to the couple, and I said, "She's a teacher, blah blah blah," and she said something about I don't remember how we got on that conversation about where we lived. So my friend goes and tells her where she lives, and the lady looks at me and goes, "That's not where you said you lived." And I said, "Oh, we just moved to Lake Villa." She's like, "Oh," and I'm like hitting her, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, 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 we live in Lake Villa." So it was so funny. They're like looking at us like, "Yeah, I'm not so sure." So we were pretty hammered at this point. And I got this idea. My nephew, Jeff, still lived in Chicago. So I said, "Let's call him up. We'll have a blast." So we call him up and he's like, "Where are you?" And I told him, and he's like, "I live right by there." He goes, "I'll be over for a drink." Cool. And because he knew my friend real well too. So finally he gets over to the bar, and he's talking to us, and he just looks at us both and goes, we took the train down, and he's like, "You two need to get on the train now." And we're like, "What?" He's like, and it was after 10 o'clock. And now we had been down there since noon. and drinking since noon. And so he's like, I need to get you guys out of here and on the train. Trust me, I'm doing you a favor. We're like, "Oh, all right, we didn't know any better, right?" So he gets us on, he gets us to the train station, and he's like, "Are you gonna be okay? You're gonna find your train?" We're like, "Of course." So we did. Well, I sat down, and apparently, and this is when I was still smoking, I had to have one more cigarette, had to have one more cigarette. And we'd gotten on the train early. It wasn't going to take off for a few minutes. And my girlfriend's like, "Are you sure you'll be able to?" I'm like, "I'm fine." So I went to get off the train, and apparently I missed the last step, and I fell, and I screwed up my ankle, but good. Had the cigarette still, and I get back on the train, and I didn't think it was that bad, so I'm limping a little bit. She's like, what happened? I said, "I fell off the last step." She's like, "Had to have that last cigarette, didn't you, Lynn?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So we get back to her house, and we're partying still, and it was about 2 a.m., and my foot was sore, but I didn't think anything of it, so I went to bed. We finally went to bed. Wake up the next morning, and wake up, and I'm like, "Ooh, what the hell happened yesterday? What train ran me over?" So I get out of bed. I go to, get out of bed. I step out and I thought I was going to die. I fell to the floor. I'm like, F, F, F. I was swearing. It hurt so much. I had no idea, no memory that I'd fallen off the train and sprained my ankle. So I come limping into the other room, and my friend's up, and she's like, "I can see you remembered you fell." I said, "No, I didn't," until I got out of bed and was laying on the floor in pain. And we were laughing, and then we looked at it, and it was huge and black and blue. And I'm like, she's like, "You had to have the last cigarette." And I'm like, "I don't remember." I didn't remember. I remembered my nephew getting us on the train, and that was pretty much it. And needless to say, some of these things, they always cost me money when I do it. So then I had to go to the doctor. I had to get a boot on the my ankle, and I had to wear a boot for a couple weeks. All because of too many cocktails. So that's my Valentine's Day story for you. It was pretty funny, and those were the days where we could party, man. One time my son said to me about drinking, and I said, "Oh, honey, don't ever try to keep up with your mother. Ain't gonna happen." I could put him away. I mean, her and I literally were drinking from noon till, I don't know. She said we went to bed about 2, so I'm sure we were drinking until then. Woo! But I know, I can tell you, I remember once we got into Chicago, we did not stop laughing until we got back on that train. I'm serious. And we were walking around acting like we were a couple, and we were telling everybody. It was pretty funny. So that's the story. And I'm sticking to it. So here is my song to all you Valentines out there. I'm alone, so I ain't got nobody. I mean, I got Elvis, which I'm kind of shocked he's not up here trying to steal the show like he usually does. He must be sleeping somewhere or taking a poop. So, okay, now for the song. All right, you guys ready? My funny Valentine, my sweet comic Valentine, your looks are laughable. Well, that's not cool. Yet you're my work of art, Lynn. But don't change a thing. Don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Never changing my hair. Stay, my little Valentine, won't you, Lynn? Each day is Valentine's Day because Lynn is around, making you all laugh on YouTube. My sweet Valentine. Each day is Valentine's Day. funny little Valentine. I'm your Valentine. Don't you forget it. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Applause, applause. Now, it's the end of the show. So, what do I always say? I want you to be happy. I hope I made you laugh. I hope that you go out and make somebody smile today. And if you can help somebody out, do it. Spread it. Pay it forward for me, please. This is what I want from Valentine's Day is for all of us to get along and love each other. Let's get back to really liking people again and smiling at them. And I was in the casino the other day and I was playing 21 on the machine. And there was a, cleaning lady. She's, emptying the ashtrays and this and that. And I just started talking to her. And I said, how's your day? And this and that. She's talking to me. She's like, thank you. See, I made that lady's day because probably nobody talks to her because she's a cleaning lady. So she's a person. And that was the easiest thing I could do. And the smile on her face made my heart smile. So if you can do that today, rock and roll, because that's what it's all about, my friends. And remember, tell everybody about my show. Make sure you subscribe and don't miss them because I see the views are going down, so I'm a little disappointed. If you don't watch me, they may not pick me up. I'll probably get canceled. So be happy, spread the happiness, and love one another. Keep on rocking and rolling from the Vegas Bay.